Welcome to the 2026 MLS Super Draft. It's going to be a big day today, and there's going to be a lot of things going on. I will try my best to screen share some stuff, whether it's picks, whether it's write-ups, but if we have guests on, no screen sharing. We're giving our guests the spotlight. Just to clarify, because they're taking time to invest in us. It's the right thing to do,
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, and we have a bunch of guests lined up, like I was telling you earlier. So hopefully they're able to come on. But you know how busy they might get, like celebrating with their families and everything. But like I said,
Exactly.
hopefully they hop on.
Wow, and we have 165 live viewers on YouTube. That I've gotten like that many on X because I've got like 10K followers over on X. It's nuts. But thank you, everyone. I don't know if a pick has been submitted yet. I believe a pick's going to be submitted at 2:30, and basically we're just going to see these teams try to make trade offers for 30 minutes because that's basically what happens whenever Apple TV streams the MLS Super Draft. It's basically 30 minutes of chit chat, 30 minutes of them hyping up the casuals, and then the picks come flying in. Like 2024, the last time they had it on Apple TV, I think the trade happened around like 2:12 or 2:15, the Inter Miami FC Dallas trade, the infamous Logan Farrington, Yannick Bright trade. So yes,
Yeah,
we will have live picks as they come in. But I think we're more likely to get a trade in the next 30 minutes than a pick. I don't think because the last two super drafts that were on Apple TV, the picks did not come in until 30 minutes after. So let's speculate. Let's talk about DC United. They've got the number one pick. I don't really feel like screen sharing anything until the picks come in. So let's talk about DC United. I think there's three routes they can go in. I think the first route is they can go with the best player on tape, which is Nicholas Simmons. The player with the highest upside, I believe, is Ricky Lewis. And the player who might be the best scheme fit is Richie Amen. So I don't think there's a wrong answer. It just comes down to which of those three preferences the DC United organization has. Because I think they're going to go one of those routes if they keep the number one pick, Julio.
gotcha. Yeah, for sure. If if I were DC United, I'd go with Ricky Lewis right now since they just signed what's his name, or they just traded for the Philadelphia player and stuff. So yeah, so I don't think they'll go with the striker, but hopefully it's Ricky Lewis or any of those three players that you mentioned should be a good fit for them. But
Because they
we'll
can
see how
all
it goes.
play winger as well as striker. I've seen Simmons play left
Simmons,
winger. I've
Lewis.
seen Lewis play right winger. So I believe he can make the transition to left winger. And Eamon, even though he's an attacking mid, he's also a left winger. He was mainly a left winger in the College Cup, even if he began the season as a. Yes, Eamon did sign a pre-generation Adidas contract as a senior, the same way Floriani did last year and Spicer did 2 years ago. So yes.
Gotcha. No, and what's your thoughts on the Junior Diallo rumors getting interest from Europe? I know you thought, or we thought he was going to go number one DC United, but what's your thoughts on that?
I think the Junior Dioff going to Germany is I kind of had a feeling he was going to sign overseas because when MLS basically said they screwed up they had a misunderstanding on the paperwork. I'm not going to get into details here. When they said they had my gut was telling me he's going to go overseas. He's going to go overseas. I was thinking that this morning when I was getting cleaned up before the show. Junior Dioff's going to go overseas. I don't know how it's going to happen, but he's going to go overseas. I thought it would be next year, but he took action this year. Apparently, I don't know what the rumors are yet. Is it official that he's going overseas, or is it just?
Uh, he has an offer right now. But yeah, I got to watch him play in person in the WAC tournament out here in Riverside, California, and yeah, he's the real deal. He's the full package, and he's also super young and stuff like that. So yeah, he'll have a bright future if he ends up going to Europe, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think the most interesting player in the draft is going to be what happens with Ransford Gyan. Entered the preseason as the favorite to go number one, entered the College Cup, and there's three mock drafts. I have him at 6 to the Rapids behind the 5 generation Adidas players. Mark Kelkenberg had him at number 1, even before all the smoke settled. And Travis Clark dropped him to 23 in the top drawer mock draft. They have him falling that far. So I think it's a combination of things with Yin, because he started the year red hot. Part of it might be the size. Another part of it might be how he performed down the stretch. And did he get outperformed by his freshman teammate at the college showcase? Did his interview be not poor but less than satisfactory? If some of those elements are in play, that could explain why Yin fell as far as he did in Travis's talk. But I don't think he's going to fall that far in real life. I think the furthest he would drop is maybe number 8, like Useni Buddha did a few years ago. I was lucky enough to interview him out of Stanford. So
Yeah, for me, the reason I think he fell because most MLS teams go for like bigger players and just the size because he's technically gifted. He has all the tools, everything to be successful. But you know how some MLS teams are; they just want the bigger players, the more physical players. But hopefully he doesn't fall that far down because yeah, he's a great player overall and also a bright future for him.
I mean, the last time a player that high fell was 2015, which was the first year I started coding the draft results page. I had my number 2 player behind Kyle Larin that year was a guy named Christian Roldan, who's had a very nice career with the Sounders, and he fell all the way to like the late. I think he fell like 15 at the time, and there were only 1 or 22 teams.
Gotcha. No, and also, what's his name? I think 2 or 3 years ago, who was it? Usman Silla, also from Clemson. He was supposed to be a top pick, but he had rumors that he was going to end up going to Europe, and I think that's why he fell to the second or third round, I think. And now he's playing with Orange County out here in USL Championship. So that's why I also think Junior Dioff like didn't want to enter the draft because he knew if teams knew that he had like interest from Europe that his stock was going to drop. So that's another reason. But yeah, he's another player who, yeah, that's my point. My bad.
The draft start. I promise you, as soon as I get a tweet, I'm going to load up the draft results and the simulator and all the other stuff because I believe each team has 4 minutes to pick in real life. But I think this draft I don't think a pick's going to be submitted until 2:30. I think everybody's just finalizing their logistics and strategies during this 30-minute period because that's how the last 2 super drafts are. The guy on the left to get a trim. Yeah, I got a haircut on Tuesday. I guess the barber didn't do the best job, but I'm not going to throw the barber under the bus. But where Nikola Markovic, where do you think he's going to end up? I think he's going to end up on Sporting Kansas City, but if a team loves his size, he could go as early as number 1, 6'4", 205, but I think he's an international. So that's where things get kind of murky.
Yeah, he's probably one of the biggest, best. Well, yeah, obviously the best defender in the draft, like you said, 6'4", and he actually played well against Washington in the final. But the thing about him being Canadian and stuff like that, in my opinion, hope he's going to end up going to a Canadian team. He might drop a little bit, but if Kansas City likes him that much, they'll probably end up drafting him. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But probably, yeah, for me, that's how I like my center backs: big, physical, and smart with the ball. But we'll see how it goes, man.
Bank at 36, best fit. Interesting. Who's he talking about?
Homer Bank from
Homer
Stanford.
Bank? Yeah.
The left back.
Yeah, I remember, I think his brother got drafted 2 years ago.
Yeah, Fletcher
Bank, Stanford.
Yeah.
Jamie Amaro and Talabi. I have Talabi in round 2, but I have Jamie Amaro in my top 15. I think Amaro is one of the steals of the draft, and I just love his attitude. I love his attitude. I listened to an interview in the Bryant Bulldogs radio station. They talked about the team ambitions to win the College Cup. That didn't come to fruition, but I just love that Bryant Bulldogs are having those conversations internally. It shows that the culture's changing there.
Yeah, well, yeah, back-to-back seasons with I'm not sure how many wins, but I think like 12 plus wins and stuff like
Okay,
that.
we do
But
have
okay,
Nikola Markovic is officially the number one pick. That is official.
gotcha.
MLS reported it as of 3 minutes ago. So I will load up some stuff here, and I guess we will give me a
A
second.
center.
I'll
Yeah,
screen share some stuff here. Um, yeah, I'm gonna screen share some stuff here. But yeah, DC United, they're gonna take Markovic. Um, Markovic did go number one overall, so that is
hmm
official.
gotcha. Like we were saying before, the
Yep.
biggest, the best center back. Yeah, that's actually a good pick for them and stuff. But he's gonna have a bright
Yeah,
future.
I
They,
mean, any have been A plus grades for me. I mean, any of the top four, I really can't argue or complain.
yeah, yeah, barely a sophomore as well as getting drafted. Yeah, he's gonna have a bright future.
All right, Atlanta's up at 2.
Will it be the Georgia Southern player,
I'm
Ricky
thinking it
Lewis?
might be Ricky Lewis. We'll see. It could be Simmons as well.
hmm I think, yeah, it'll probably be between those two. Yeah, because yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll wait it out here. I just want to see what's happening here with Atlanta at 2. I'm gonna go to MLS Soccer, see if they have posted anything else. It is Markovic. I'll type Atlanta in and see what happens.
Gotcha.
But yeah, getting the biggest player in the draft, I can't really argue with that thought process. What do we got here? So yeah, we've got Atlanta. We'll see. Um, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna get the write up on the site unless Atlanta reveals the pick. Yeah, and there's a timer on my simulator, by the way. So if Atlanta doesn't pick within the next 4 minutes, which is the time limit in real life, then if that happens, there's a timer, and if they because my simulator does have a timer on it, and I believe each team has 4 minutes to pick in real life. So if Atlanta does not submit their pick before the timer goes off, I would have to reset. But that's probably because they're working on a trade if it's taking that long to submit a pick.
Yeah, usually the first round goes like that. It takes a little bit longer than the second and third round. It's just goes by faster.
Yep. Yeah, but North Carolina State had a league best 15 shutouts, and center back like Markovic, they don't come around often. And center backs, they're considered the safest picks in college soccer. So, and they got their
Yeah.
strikers. So the next building block's the center back. So
And Logan Erb just signed a homegrown deal with Houston Dynamo, so that's two
that's
players
a
already.
great signing for him. Logan Erb
Yeah,
was my number 3 goalie. Some had him as the best goalie in college soccer, but still, regardless, a great addition.
yeah. Well, I gave him the Kickaball Pod goalkeeper of the year because yeah, just well, he had great defenders, but he also made some great saves and stuff like that. But yeah,
Yeah,
he deserves it.
definitely. Do we got anything yet on do we got anything on Atlanta? You did. Behind the fall said Markovic was going to go number 1. He did call it. I got to give him credit. Ricky Lewis. FC
Ricky
Dallas
Lewis.
is traded up with Atlanta, and they got Ricky Lewis at 2. So we do have a trade, and Ricky Lewis is going second, but Atlanta traded the pick to DC United, traded the pick to FC Dallas.
So another trade for FC Dallas, just like
Yeah,
2 years
and
ago,
Ricky
moving
Lewis
up
is
for.
going to be one of our guests on if he can make it. If he can't, but we'll see. We're just happy for Ricky. He got picked. This is a great moment for him. And FC Dallas, they can have him. They can have Logan Farrington, and their striker who had 10 goals last year. They can play all 3 of those guys on the wing because Farrington's more of a left winger. Lewis is more of a right winger, but he can play. So all 3 of those guys at forward are going to complement each other really well moving forward. So
That's a fantastic pick for FC Dallas. Again, moving up, trading just like 2 years ago for Logan Farrington. Yeah,
yeah,
Ricky Lewis is gonna have a bright future. I know he wasn't playing for like the bigger teams and stuff like that, but I've been watching a bunch of college soccer this past season, and he's been scoring a bunch of goals. And also this past summer, he played with Lionsbridge, and played very well. So yeah, he's gonna have a bright future.
yep.
Yeah,
And
but he should be hopping on like probably not right now, but later on in the draft, he should be hopping on and
I'm
joining
get
us for.
I'm guessing it'll be like 3:30 or 4, somewhere in the middle of the first round.
Yeah.
But I'm curious what Atlanta got for the number 2 pick. Did they get allocation money? Why did they get the number 3 pick and allocation money? I'm guessing that's what they got.
Most likely.
Simmons to Dallas as well.
Oh, so they got both of them.
Yeah. I'm just curious. What did they give up to get number 2 though? That's what I'd like to know because they've been very quiet about what Atlanta got. We don't know what Atlanta got from the 400K. Wow.
Damn, that's a
Yeah.
lot.
FC Dallas, they burned through 350K to get up to number 3. They burned 450K. They have burned $850,000 on the 3 trades they've made in the Super Draft. $850,000.
Damn, that's a lot. I wasn't expecting that much, but damn. I guess, yeah.
So they gave up the 12th pick and 400K. All right, that's still a great return though for Atlanta. They get number 12 and they get then they get all that money.
Gotcha. And also FC Dallas, their second team's really good, North Texas SC. So they're also good at like developing players and stuff like that. I guess they're gonna end up or they're gonna start off with them, then during preseason they'll know if they'll end up playing with the first team or
Links
second
in
team.
description. Draven Barnett out of St. Louis. I'll see it when I believe it. I haven't heard anything about him, but I will. Yeah, I'm typing some of the picks in the news ticker, like for 2 and 3, because it's like, yeah, Ricky
Gotcha.
Lewis, Georgia Southern, and then FC Dallas ends up with Nicholas Simmons at 3, which is crazy. Where can I watch the draft? I've got a simulator. I don't know if we can watch the draft. Apple's not streaming it, so really it's just going to be us, the guests, and my visuals. And I'll update the visuals. It's just I've got. Give me a second. I'll try to screen share this again. Kwaku Agabang. All right, I'll try to screen share this again so that people can actually see the visuals and the pics and all that stuff. But yes, number 1 was Markovic, and then Ricky Lewis went to FC Dallas at 2. Nicholas Simmons went 3rd, and Sporting Kansas City went with Agyabang at 4. So that's the top 4 so far. FC Dallas giving up $400K to get my top 2 players. Agyabang to Sporting Kansas City. That's an interesting decision because you get a defensive midfielder. Jansen Miller was a defensive midfielder, but they converted him to center back, and he did well there. Now you get a true defensive midfielder at the 6, and you continue to build up that defense in Sporting Kansas City. It's an interesting decision. I feel like
that's an interesting pick for me.
I don't have an issue with it, but I would try to get either a second center back or a attacking midfielder like Eamon. It's a good pick if that's the route they want to go in, but you're still going to need that second center back. You're still going to need that attacking midfielder, that playmaker that can get your striker points. But hey, it is what it is.
Gotcha.
Orlando's in a unique spot at 5.
Ooh. They're not going to pick Richie. Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to pick Richie. We'll see.
A goalkeeper? Like, they might go with a goalkeeper.
Connor Lofty at 5. I'm just gonna get like the actual formations, the write-ups done. Both 5 and 6 are in. Orlando City SC.
Who did they pick?
I have not seen anything from Orlando yet. Kwaku Agyabang. Yeah. Cole Ross, I don't know if Ross is going to be the pick. We'll see. MLS should have loaded the pick by now for no. Okay, here we go. I do have number 5. Harvey Sarajan out of Wake Forest went 5th.
Yeah. Then I got the next 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Okay, cool.
Mamadou Diop, Colorado. Then City SC drafts Zach Lillington from UC Davis. He should also be joining us.
Oops, I think I clicked the wrong player. I have Harvey way down. Like, I've got Harvey way down. Like, I have Harvey like in the 3rd round, so I have to scroll way down to get that. That's on me, guys. That's my fault. That is on me. That is entirely my fault.
No, apologize to him because he messaged me like an hour before the draft, and he asked if we were going to stream it. So he's probably watching right now.
I'm sorry. This is my fault. The draft's a crap. MLS and MLB drafts, they're the 2 biggest crapshoots of all the 5 drafts. You kind of know what's going to happen in the NBA. You kind of know what's going to happen in the NFL, NHL. So, Harvey.
It's all good.
I have Billo Diop in the 100s because I couldn't find him. I couldn't find him in the freaking Well, we know he's a forward, so okay, that was easy.
Number
That was way
DC
Lillington's
DC United just picked right now. They picked Richie Amon.
So DC United got number 8. They traded up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I had Lillington at 49, but I know I saw some mocks that had him in the first round. But yeah,
Yeah,
Lillington.
no. He's
Right.
a first round guy. I also got to watch him over here against UC Santa Barbara and some other team. Or against Cal State Fullerton out here, big physical center back. And yeah, he's gonna have a bright future,
What did
big dude.
I
So
give up to get Richie Amon?
I don't know. I just saw that.
That is, I think DC United and FC Dallas have had the 2 strongest drafts so far because I'm just curious what they gave up to get that pick. And they also got Kurukawa, Kaisuke Kurukawa. He's a left back in Japan. He's coming to DC United.
Gotcha.
So I do like what DC United's doing so far.
So Orlando's in with the number 9 pick. Nolan Miller, center back from Michigan.
Yep. New England traded number. They've traded their top 10 picks for allocation money. They did this with Minnesota a few years ago too. Remember, because New England didn't want to make any picks. They wanted to trust their academy.
Yeah. But that's 3 center backs taken so far. Nolan Miller, Zach, and Nicola with the first pick.
And yeah, I'm just updating it so that the people can see the actual trades. I'll get like the write-ups done as they come in. But yeah, it's like, no, because I grade picks too, but it's like this is faster. This is a lot faster. That's the thing I've learned. Using this instead of having like live grades and just talking about the players, it's more fun, it's faster. That's what I've learned.
Gotcha.
That's a good lesson to learn. But yeah.
Again, number 10, Colorado Rapids, Georgetown forward Mitchell Baker. He should also be hopping on.
Mitchell Baker is the Georgetown guy.
Yeah, the sophomore. So we got hopefully 3 guests in the top 10 that should be joining us.
Yeah.
Maybe 4.
I'm screwing this up massively. I reset it, but this is...
Mitchell Baker. Well, I messaged him like 2 days ago, and he didn't think he was going to get drafted.
I had Mitchell Baker in my late first round, but I saw he was like 6'3", 205. So I'm like, and he was dominating in the College Cup, so I figured he was going to go early. I didn't think he would go as early as he did, but I kind of figured he was going to get picked.
Yeah, I think he also told me that he might be taking a final or something right now, so hopefully he got the notification he got drafted.
Okay, so DC United took Amon. Who did Orlando take at 9 and 10?
Nolan Miller from Michigan, center back.
I had Nolan Miller in round 2. I was initially going to put him in round 3, I didn't even have him initially, but then I had to take some players who weren't on the list out, and I noticed he had 9 shutouts at Michigan, so I figured he was going to get picked.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
teams are drafting all the big center backs right now, the
And
big
who
physical
who
center
did
backs.
Colorado get at 10?
Mitchell Baker.
Yeah, I have a late first on Baker, so that'll be no problem. And is that it? Are we caught up now?
Yeah.
All
So
right.
far.
Probably scroll up. Earthquakes are on the clock. But
They
yeah,
might get
they might trade the
well,
pick, and then I'm just like
or if I'm guessing, Rafael from the University of San Francisco, I think they're looking at him. I
David
think that's what they're.
Raphael.
Yeah,
They took the guy from they took Reed. They took the center back from there last year.
yeah. So they probably have good connections. Oh, number 11, Houston Dynamo, Portland, forward Joe Highfield.
Wait, is that the
Yeah, number
Dynamo
11.
trade with Earthquakes?
I think. Well, it says Houston Dynamo,
Let me.
Joe Highfield. Yeah, I should have asked him.
Joe Highfield out of Portland. So they
Yep.
did trade for Portland. So yeah. I'm gonna have to update the trade again. I'm just gonna we know DC it's gonna show San Jose unless I restart. And there's just so many trades. I don't really feel like restarting. I feel like we're basically insulting our audience. So the Dynamo did trade allocation money to Houston to get Joe Highfield. And I know
Oh,
it's
the
not
number 12
perfect,
pick
but
is in
yeah.
Atlanta United, Enzo Dovlo from
UNC
UNC Greensboro.
Greensboro. I had him going around this exact spot. I had him at 13 on my board to Real Salt Lake. So that's a great pick by Atlanta at 12.
Another one of our guests. So
Yeah,
actually picked the right guess. We got like 5 out of the top 12 guests.
that's awesome. So who do we have besides Ricky Lewis and Dovlo coming on later today?
Um, hopefully Zach from UC Davis, and hopefully Harvey, maybe Harvey. We'll see.
We'll see.
But
Yeah,
Zach
Zach Lillington and Harvey.
and
So that's 2 of the top 5 and 3 of the top 7 and 4 of the top 4 high. If Highfield and Doblo are guests, that's 4 of the top. That's 5 of the top 12. But yeah, that's very good.
so I did ask the right players.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I've just stopped caring about updating the trades. We know San Jose made the trade with Houston, and if I click on all these players again, it's just going to take forever to load. It just
Hmm.
is. I'll update it so if anyone in our audience wants to use the simulator, you'll have the actually real life results. I will update it for our audience. So if you click on the link in the description, you can actually get the actual draft order and either keep track of the picks with us, or you can do like redrafts. If your team gets the wrong player and another player becomes the star, you can always replay this draft class for historical purposes. What should have happened? Like a what if scenario, like 5 years later or something. I don't know.
The pick is in number 13. Real Salt Lake picks Lucas Magnuson from Clemson.
Man, that player was my I had him at 120 on my board. I swear he was the very last player on my board.
Damn.
That is just embarrassing for me. Like, I would have
That's
to issue a formal apology to him if he was one of the guests. I would literally have to issue a state of the address formal apology.
uh also number 14's in Orlando City picks Jalen Yearwood from the University of North Florida.
I do like Jalen Yearwood. He always talked about improving, getting better. Love his attitude. if they had beaten North Carolina, I genuinely believe he would have been a top 10 pick.
Yeah,
Orlando
and
must have saw the same thing. That's why they drafted him as early as he did.
I was about to ask him to hop on, but I'll message him. Hopefully, we can get him on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna pay attention to. We're seeing this stuff happen on X. I probably should update the ticker, but yeah, there's so many trades coming in. There's so much stuff coming in. I've got individual draft grades, but I think I'll save those for Saturday's podcast on the
Gotcha.
because there's just too much detail that goes on. We just want to have the live draft, have fun, interview these guests. We don't want to like take ourselves too seriously. So
No, I got you.
we're good though. I think we're doing well.
Yep. Number 15 is in. Portland Timbers picked Justin McLean from North Carolina State.
What position?
He's a midfielder.
All right. I've got Catan. I've got Tag Healy. Is that the guy, or is it?
No, Justin McLean. He was a transfer from Georgia State, I think.
I don't think I have him on here.
Gotcha.
I have
No,
three midfielders on here from NC State, but they picked the one I don't have on here.
Or I guess like is he a midfielder or like a forward? He's one of those two. I'm guessing more a winger.
Maybe. I don't think I'll check right now. Justin McLean, I don't have him on my forward rankings either. Well, I don't think Ian Abbey's going to get picked, so we'll just use him as a placeholder for Justin McLean. I know this looks really ridiculous.
16's in. FC Dallas. One of your favorite goalies, Nicholas Hersek from Vermont.
Herseg's the first goalie off the board. That is a surprise. Not that I'm going to fault FC Dallas for making that pick, but I had Butler at 1. Joey took Butler at 1 when we did the live stream for fun last week, and Mark Kelkenberg had Samuels at 1. Travis Clark had Butler at 1. So for them to pivot to Herseg and go against the consensus, not faulting FC Dallas, I think both goalies are steals. All the goalies are steals at this point. But yeah, Herseg, I really love what FC Dallas has done with this draft. They still need a center back, and they need another center back. They need another midfielder that can get assists, but I love the fact that they've gotten really good value.
17's also in. Vancouver Whitecaps select midfielder from the University of Washington, Zach Ramsey.
Zach Ramsey, I had him in early round 2, but I was thinking he was so dominant in the College Cup, he might sneak into round 1.
So yeah, his stock went up after that game.
Yeah, because he dominated in both College Cup games against both College Cup games. He dominated. So
that's a good pick.
It is a great pick. I agree. And like once the actual draft is over, I will reload this and recap all the picks, and I'll try to add let's get a picture of Justin McLean and add that to the simulator so we actually have something. So for later, we don't have to add it right now or edit it right now, but we'll add that for later. Put that in our back pocket, and we'll edit it so that we can use it later. For
who's your top available player on your draft right now?
Ransford Gyan, did he get picked? Or
no, he hasn't.
Who's available? Who got picked?
Ransford hasn't got him picked, right? I told you the size. The MLS teams don't like his size.
That's what I'm saying. It's like he got hyped up. I don't think it's his fault. I think part of it is he got off to a dominant start. The other part of it is he didn't finish well. The size, MLS College Showcase, bad, but it wasn't spectacular either. And all of these, his interview may have been average. I don't know, but I'm sure all these elements are why his stock has dropped to a degree.
Number 18 is in Chicago Fire. Picks University of North Carolina and former University of San Diego player Jack Sandmeyer.
Jack Sandmeyer, I don't have him up either. And I tried to get some North Carolina players on the simulator earlier this morning, and NC's website, it just crashed. It showed like a blue screen of death. I guess that's what the Tar Heels are doing now.
But no, he's a great player, tall, physical player. I saw him play with the University of San Diego. I think I also did a post-game interview when he played USL 2 with Capo FC. Got to meet him, but yeah, great physical player and plays well with the ball. That's a great pick.
All right. If we have a guest on, let me know, because if we do, I'll probably stop screen sharing at that point. And yeah, I'm getting them a clean picture so that at least if anyone in our audience wants to use this, they can pick him. I know I've screwed this up, but the MLS draft, you have to believe me when I say this draft is the biggest crapshoot, okay? I put 120 players in, and two that I did not expect to get picked at all in the first 100. There's only 90 picks, but two players that are outside my top 120 have already been picked. But these teams probably know something I don't. They've probably interviewed the guys, or they've watched the tape, or they see something they love.
Number 19 is in Sporting Kansas City out of the University of Portland, Nicholas Clark.
Is that the guy from Edmonton?
I think so. Yeah. Or the former Vancouver Whitecap player.
Yeah. Whitecap Academy player. All right. Cool.
That's a good pick.
Perfect. I'm just going to zoom out of the screen because we're so far behind, and I think it's just kind of pointless at this point. Isa Harana. Clark Tozak's a guy I've seen as high as 10. Tom Bogert. Wow, Tom Bogert's watched our stream. I'm honored. That's pretty cool.
Pick number 20 is in Orlando City, Isaiah Haruna from the University of North Carolina, Greensboro.
Isaiah Haroga. Tell me more about him.
I I do not know that much about him, which is
I had three players getting picked: Julian Leigh-Bordelou, Enzo Dovlo, and the goalie. They have a really good goalie.
Seth Wilson.
Seth Wilson, yeah. He had 27 shots in one game against Virginia. He had 15, 25 in another against NC State. 50. So he faced 52 of his 210 shots in those two games.
Yeah,
and he
I
didn't
have
lose
him as
either one. That's
I
a
have him as
mentally
the
strong
number
person.
3 or 4 goalkeeper, and I also heard he has offers from USL championship team. So if he doesn't get drafted, he'll end up signing with the USL
Palmer
championship.
Bank is a player I put in. I think I had him in round 3. I had him in round 2 last year. I think I had him ahead of Fletcher in 2024. So I've been a big Palmer Bank fan for the last 3 years. He hasn't been picked. I don't know why MLS teams are avoiding him. There's got to be something there.
21 is in goalkeeper or New York Red Bulls pick goalkeeper out of Syracuse, Thomas Hutt.
Well, that's a player I actually do have on the simulator. But because I'm so far behind on picks, I've just,
I guess
I guess what
Mitchell.
I can do is I can scroll down and I won't have. All right, Thomas Hutt. Thomas Hutt had 9 shutouts at Syracuse. 6'3", 215 pounds. Has a great size. Studied him a little bit this morning, and you know he was the best player on Syracuse. They shut out the ACC champions SMU, so he was the best player on Syracuse. Thomas Hutt. They shut out the ACC champions. I know Amaro didn't get picked, but it's like I'm trying my best with what I have to work with. And Thomas Hutt is, I'm surprised he got picked as high as he did, but I guess I shouldn't be. I'm guessing there's something there where they said, okay, this guy beat the best of the best. He's got the size. Maybe he's a poor man's Alex Bono. I don't think he's as good as Bono was, but at the same token, he is good enough to be picked.
22 is in Charlotte FC. Picks defender out of Stanford, Will Cleary, my bad.
I have him in my midfielder rankings. I think he's a D mid. He's a D mid, not a center back.
Yeah,
So
center defensive mid, yeah.
So I have him in the. I do have him on. I do have him on here. Okay, there we go. So, but yeah, that is a great pickup. Minnesota's on the clock unless they've traded the pick. Isa Harana is another player I didn't have, and Sandmeyer. So Zach Ramsey is. I have him on there. I have Herseg on here, but Sandmeyer is a player I don't have, and I'm gonna try to get that player. Let me try something. Let me try on my phone, because if I can't get the image on my computer, maybe I can get it on my phone and email it to myself. That's what we'll do. Because I'll try to get Sandmeyer, but yeah, he was a former San Diego player, transferred. You have the next pick in.
Let's see. Oh, 23, Minnesota United picks out of SMU, Jalen Mitchell.
Jalen Mitchell, that is a very interesting pick. He's the left winger on SMU. So, yeah, he played the 11 there. So they're getting depth at winger because they have left winger is a position they actually have a little bit of stability at. So they're basically adding depth. I respect it. It's a good route to go.
Gotcha. He should also be hopping on later today.
Okay, I have Jalen. I thought I had him a lot higher than the end of this, because I remember that was one of the players we linked. I don't know exactly where we had him, but I remember we had him. Jalen Mitchell. Maybe I put him in the forward group. Is that possible? Because I know I added him when I was coding this last night. I know I added Jalen Mitchell. I just don't remember where I put him. I know we had him though. I thought we had him a lot higher than this. So give me a second. Do we put him in the defense? Do we put him in defense or forward rankings by any chance? I'm just checking. I'm checking. I don't really know if we put him. I know we put him somewhere. I'm just I'll try defense.
24th pick is in. My team pick, LAFC picks Giuliano Fravolini out of Princeton, but also a San Diego player.
Slade Starnes. I took Slade Starnes out of the simulator. I took Slade Starnes out of the simulator and put Jalen Mitchell in. I swapped the two. I guess it just I swear I swapped the two. That's
Defender, not goalkeeper.
Whatever. Giovanni El Hadi. We're just going to go to El Hadi because El Hadi was my top center back for most of the draft process. And this is a guy I do want to talk about. Is it Whitchurch? Is that Whitchurch? Is that
Yeah,
the pick? Okay.
yeah.
All right. I swear that Mitch Ferguson's not the official pick. That was a technicality. I hope he does get picked, though. I messaged him before the Super Draft. I hope he does get picked. That is a glitch. Unfortunately, I accidentally clicked. It does that sometimes. I'm adding McLean to the site right now, or the sim, so people use the simulator. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm kind of honored that someone as famous as people at MLS are watching our stream. But yeah, the anchor went 30. The anchor. Who's the anchor? Okay. You know what? MLS website already has round 1 done. I'm going to use the MLS app and load everything instead of using social
They
media.
do. The
I'm going to use
25th pick. Okay.
someone in the
25th
chat room
pick.
said that MLS tracker already has round 1 done. Okay, so Ransford Gyan to New York City FC at 27. And Daniel Lugo to Vancouver at 29, and Talabi went to Miami at 30. So I really love what Vancouver's done. They got Ramsey, a playmaker, and they got Lugo. And I love what New York City FC's done with Ransford Gyan. And Abdel Talabi, oh, the anchor, that's his nickname. Is that Charlie Sharp, former Western Michigan, Toronto player in the chat
Yeah,
room?
most likely.
Okay. Charlie Sharp, I did remember him at Western Michigan. He was a fun player. All right. 26 was Wabu Musa. I do have Musa in this somewhere. I don't know how far we got to. I have him in round 2 somewhere, but I remember adding him. There we go. And then Ransford Gyan went
27.
Ransford Gyan went 27th to New York City. And then Martin Luala. I did not add anyone else from Grand Canyon. Sorry, San Diego. That's my bad. That's my bad. I did not add Luala. And then Lugo went to Vancouver. So, and then I was a little bit lower on Talabi than the consensus, but I knew Bryant had some good talent. So, and that's the first round. I do like the Talabi pick at 30. I figured as soon as Ryan Saylor signed with Seattle, I figured Inter Miami, they're getting a center back for depth. And
Yep.
I picked the wrong one, but hey, I like the pick. I can respect it. I mean, Andrew Samuels is our top player, but at the same token, it's like I think Butler's still on the board. I think Olfer's on the board. There's a lot of talent there at 31. Let's see what we got here. See if DC United's round 2 pick is up.
Nope.
I don't think it is. I think they're taking like a 5-minute break before they start round 2. I bet what they end up doing is they start the draft at the top of each hour. So it's 2, it's 3, and then they probably do round 3 at 3:30. So they're out of here in 2 hours. But yeah, Richie Amon and Nicola are both great picks at 1 and 8. If they can get another key player, like if they can come away with Butler in round 2, that's a massive win. All right, so yeah, so even though MLS website has all 30 picks done, X only has the first 28. So that's what they're probably going to wait until X is caught up before they start round 2. That's probably what's going on. But what were your impressions of the first round? I'm going to work. Yeah, let's see some stuff here. Thanks for stopping in, Charlie. But yes, are you still here? Or... Yeah, you're still here. You just turned your your camera got turned off. I have to turn it back on. That's my fault. But yes. Or did you choose to turn it off because you wanted a break?
No, I was just looking through my phone right now, so it was probably me. But we're good. No, I like the pick center backs. The first pick on City SC getting Zach from UC Davis, and Nolan Miller also getting drafted by Orlando City. Those are really good picks, right? Every team needs a center back, a big physical center backs, and most center backs, when they get drafted, they end up having better futures than most players, right?
Yep.
But we'll see. I'm gonna try to message some guests right now to hopefully they can come on.
Yeah. I will speak with whoever we can get.
Good. Kid Mitchell. Just sent out a few messages. Hopefully, I get a reply soon. But if not, let them celebrate with their families and friends right now.
Yeah, exactly. Let them celebrate. Great. I can't log into hosting the server that I use on my computer to code. I can't log into Ooh, it's wait, let's try. Okay. That did the trick. So I was able to log into
We'll see. Darn it. Okay, Harvey wants to hop on.
okay.
Let me just send him the link real quick.
Okay, perfect.
Just give me a second.
Harvey does want to pop on. Awesome. I did want to reset my password. Now I don't want to reset it. So I'm not going to click on the link. I finally got logged into hosting so I can edit more
Okay.
photos later after the show, but let's bring our guest on.
He said never mind. That he wants to spend time with family.
Okay.
But yeah, we should have a
Congratulations
few
again
new.
on getting drafted, Harvey.
Yep, congrats, man.
Isaac Emojong from Grand Valley is the pick. So yeah, Isaac Emojong from Utah Valley. Yeah, because we waited too long to pick a player, auto draft decided to take over. But yeah, number 31 was Isaac Emojong, the midfielder out of Utah Valley. I do have a third on him, but that's still not a bad pick at this point in the draft. What do we got here? Do we have any
Have they
round
made
2
any
picks?
new picks? Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, there's been 10 picks.
10 picks? Okay, yeah. Picks are flying in on the app, so
Yeah,
wait.
DC United from Utah Valley.
Okay, so Keenan Hott went to Inter Miami at 32.
Yeah, Trey Wright to UCLA, number 33 to Real Salt Lake. 34, Sporting Kansas City.
I had Keenan Hott to Miami, I had Keenan Hott to New York at 27. So to get him at 32, that's very good value. Trey Wright out of UCLA goes to Real Salt Lake at 33. Andrew Samuels, Princeton. That's a sneaky good pick for St. Louis. And Edward Niss did get picked by FC Dallas at 40. Jackson
have you?
Gilman's a Toronto. Oh, Palmer Bank
Yeah,
Galaxy. My Galaxy
yeah,
get Palmer Bank. I love it.
that's good.
I'm a little too fired up for my own good, but yeah.
And 38, New England Revolution, Mimi Schneider from UCLA. I could try to get him
Schneider
on.
Mimi. That'd be cool. I do. I mean, he's a left back for UCLA. He's very good, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's try to
UCLA
get.
won the Big Ten championship. They shut out Michigan 5-0. Wright and Mimi were fantastic in that game. They were fantastic in that game. And then, yeah, even though they lost to Grand Canyon penalty kicks, they held Grand Canyon to a shutout. The back line was fantastic in that game. That's probably why they are as high as they are in terms of the overall projections. Maserka goes 34th to Sporting Kansas City. No, Sporting Kansas City, yeah. And the Galaxy got Palmer Bank at. I thought Palmer Bank was going to fall to round 3. I'm happy he finally got picked because I had a second on him last year. I had him higher than his brother, and I was just worried scouts had just forgotten about him. But he finally gets picked, and then Andrew Samuels, Jackson Gilman was the pick. You'll have to ignore that. My simulator does that. But yeah, Andrew Samuels was 12th on our board. I don't know. Andrew Samuels was 12th. Okay. I'm not restarting this. I'll restart it once we have all the picks and once we have everything. But we don't have everything right now. You know?
Yep.
I'm trying to I'm seeing if there's anything as far as picks go. Because they're probably going to submit a ton of picks at the same time. Oh, there's a refresh
Yeah.
button. Okay, I can just push that and there'll be more picks whenever they come in. But yeah, I really like what Andrew Samuels. Jackson Gilman was a great pickup for Toronto. Who do we have here at Jack Sandemeyer? I'm getting the image of Sandemeyer emailed to me right now. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Has MLS updated some of the round 2 picks, or is it just
No, it's still 40, I think.
we're
Oh no,
still on?
never mind. No, they went to 50, 10 picks.
So
41.
just push the refresh button on the tracker, and then we'll get all the picks.
Yeah. Jefferson Amaya, High Point to Real Salt
I
Lake
do
at
like
42.
Jefferson Amaya. He's a good player. I'm just trying to load it. It's not loading on the phone.
45, Portland Timbers, Colin Griffith from Maryland.
Okay. This ticker is not actual update. actually updated here. It's really annoying me because the tracker should be updated pick by pick. Good news is I've got a Sandemeyer photo I can edit for not just simulator, but like stuff.
Nicholas Sorensen from Pittsburgh, number 48 to Real Salt Lake.
That's a good pick. Sorensen, he's raw, but there's potential there. There's a lot of potential there. I had him at high as number 2 at one point last year during his freshman year, but he regressed this season. But if you stash him and let him develop at Pitt, it could work out down the road. Not saying it will. More than likely, it probably won't work out. But, that could work out down the road.
And number 50, Max Miller from Kentucky gets drafted by Nashville SC.
I'm going to X out of the MLS app and then reload the app and see all the picks as they come flying in.
Gotcha.
Probably should just load it on my computer. That would probably... Okay, now I've got Cooper Forcellini. That's a great pick. So Real Salt Lake gets Jefferson Amaya. St. Louis gets Cooper Forcellini. Edward Niss to Dallas. Dallas just has gotten... They got the attacking midfielder in Edward Niss. They got the goalie. They got 2 forwards. I would have liked to see another defender, but the reason they needed a playmaker, they needed a goalie. Those were the 2 main things they needed. A playmaker that can generate assists and a goalie. They got both of those things. And they got the 2 best players in the draft. So as far as I'm concerned, FC Dallas is the big winner here. But we got to see these careers play out too. We can't just crown a winner after one draft. Stefan Debrajovic of Akron's a great pick. I had him in round 2. Very good attacking midfielder for the Akron Zips. And Sorensen to Real Salt Lake, stash and develop. I mean, they did draft Jasper Loffelsend from Germany, I think, and Sorensen's from Switzerland. So Jack Giacini goes to San Jose as a right back for depth. And they're probably going to update the picks soon. All right, perfect. I've got the Jack Sandemeyer pick. So I can email that to myself whenever. So I figured out how, because I wanted to get some NC players besides Nacho Abil, who was not a actual on the Super Draft list, and I wanted to get some additional players. So now we just
I think he might sign with like a USL too if he doesn't end up getting drafted.
Yeah, I agree. Jalen Mitchell, I do have Jalen Mitchell. But it's like there's so many picks that are coming in, and basically what I'm going to do is I'll probably redo this. I'll get this right. I haven't gotten it right because that's on me. I'm not going to make any excuses. That's entirely on me. This is hard. I'm just happy that, we got a lot of viewers. I think we saw one of the MLS Network Apple TV personalities watch our channel. So I consider that a tremendous honor.
What was our peak views?
I think we were at 480 at one point, maybe 501. But I saw our super chat room, and one of the I think Tom Bogert, the MLS insider on Apple TV, was waved at us, which is I'm honored. I know I'm not as famous and popular. I know I'm not the Ian Rappaport of MLS, but I'm honored by that. That's cool. It's like that makes up for my ability to screw up and not get all these picks right. Because we had the right visuals and everything. It's just picks are coming in so fast. And we could only get 120 players up of the 400. So for the players that I don't get, this is the part that's frustrating. But do we have any more picks? Do we have 51 through 60 yet?
Let me
You know what?
check real quick.
Let's exit out of the app and reload it. That's how I was able to get caught up to Julio on the picks. So let's X out of the app, reload the app. I bet. Yep.
They're in
Round 2 done. Okay, perfect. We've got Joe
51.
Dale, who is outside of
Yep.
my top 90. He goes to Remy Egan-Belade, another guy who I see on this list. But wow, there's a lot of picks where I'm Kevin Pierre. I know there's some Georgia Southern fans who like Pierre. I don't know a lot about him, so I'm going to refrain from commenting at this point because I know there's a lot of fans in our chat room that talked about the Georgia Southern, both players on Georgia Southern.
Another Washington. Oh, yeah, Washington player gets drafted again. Let's see who else. Two Washington players.
Joe Dale was one of the Washington players. Umberto Palo was a good player. He's from Italy. FC Dallas got him in round 2.
Inter Miami. Mamada Gianna from Bright. He's good. A transfer from the University of Albany. Just no, that's also cool. No, the players that get drafted by Inter Miami at least get to beat Messi.
Yep.
Hopefully,
Alex Barger.
from Indiana going to Inter Miami as well. That's a good pick.
What happens when the players go to Miami is they think they're going to make the first team, and then David Beckham is going to tell them MLS next coach is going to point out flaws X, Y, and Z in your game, and then if you overcome those flaws, then you'll have the privilege of meeting Messi. Otherwise, you could
Yeah,
play at our MLS next stadium or one of our practice facilities if we cut you outside of Freedom Park, because we have 8 practice facilities outside of Freedom Park, 8 soccer practice facilities. Yeah.
the only player that has succeeded is Yannick Bright from the University of New Hampshire. He's like a role
Yeah.
player now with Inter Miami.
Their track record in the Super Draft is not great.
Yeah. Well, also like LAFC and like bigger teams, I guess.
They can
usually
go the free agent route. They can go the allocation money route. They don't necessarily have to get their talent in the draft. They can buy good talent.
Yeah, and most of the players they draft end up going to USL as well, or signing up with another MLS Next Pro team. So, yeah, that's why it's not always good to get drafted and stuff like that. Some teams are just forced to get drafted, in my opinion. And yeah, but hopefully they at least get a chance to, yeah, the practice or train to try to impress the coaches. But we'll see. Because do you remember what's his name, Alec Hughes from UMass from last year? I think he was like the leading goal scorer signed
Yeah,
with,
he
or
was. I had him in my first round in 2023, and he got undrafted. And then he got or 2024, and he got undrafted. And then he got drafted in 2025. I thought he was going to go
yeah,
top 5.
because LAFC drafted him. He was with the second team, and I think he got injured, and I don't know. I think they released him now or something like that. But he was a top player in
Yeah.
college and in USL too and stuff like that. So it's not always good to get drafted by these big teams
I do
because
have
they,
some news on round 3. Okay. Stefan Najike is DC United's 3rd round pick out of Maryland. I like that. I had a late first on him. Noah
yeah,
James, another guy I had a late first on. Sporting Kansas City gets Blake DiAgostino. LA Galaxy gets Sebastian Conlon, backup goalie that I liked. Yinka Olganyel goes to FC Dallas. I had an early third on him. So to get him midway through the third, that's very good value. Like McGowan, Augustin Reach, a player I rush, Seton Hall center back, I really am high on him, and Coven Johnson of the Rapids. Like, I really love what FC Dallas has done in this draft.
Yeah,
They
got the best pick so far.
They've got the two best players at 1 and 2. They got a center back, they got a goalie, they got an attacking midfielder. They've pretty much filled all of their needs, and they got premium talent and really good value with every pick.
Yeah, great picks.
Yeah. And the rest of these drafts, okay, you hit on 1 or 2 picks, but the rest of the drafts are good. The rest of the players are going to be hit or miss outside of your first round picks. That's basically what I've seen from this draft.
Yeah, most of the players from the third round are going to end up returning to college next year and stuff.
Yeah, and Herseg's a sophomore, redshirt, so he's probably going to go back to Vermont, more than likely. Or he could enter the portal and go to Penn State and reunite with his coach. That's also on the table.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Isaiah Harana. That's the next player. I got to get image of. Well, actually, I got to crop the image of the. And Jack Sandmeyer, is that a forward or a midfielder?
Center defensive mid.
Midfielder / defender.
Yeah, the big tall.
So we're gonna list him. We're gonna put him in the midfield section. That's fine. Yeah, because I forgot I'm supposed to crop these images and stuff. But it's more fun to read off the picks. And it does take forever. But yeah, outside of FC Dallas, nobody's really had a dominant draft. Like there's been a few teams that have had good first round picks, teams that have had good second round value, but outside of FC Dallas, there really hasn't been a team that's had. But I'm not complaining about my picks as a Galaxy fan. I mean, we got a left back I really liked, and we got a goalie I was high on. So I'll take that. I hope we get a good player. Yep. 72.
No, yeah, Palmer Bank. That's a steal for the Galaxy.
Yeah, Palmer Bank. I like the Palmer Bank pick, and I had Conlon ahead of Bank in my rankings. So to get him as the backup goalie, I'll take that. I don't think Jay Mamaro has been picked yet. The Bryant midfielder with 10 goals, 9 assists. That's a really good value pick. I would say the best value pick in round 2 is probably I'm looking. Has Butler been picked yet? I don't think he has. I think the 2 goalies. I know the first goalie was Herseg, and then
Hutt.
And then I think Herseg was the only round 1 goalie, and then Samuel.
Also Thomas Hutt from Syracuse.
Thomas Hutt. Yeah, Thomas Hutt was goalie too. You're correct.
He was like a top 15 pick, no, or top 20.
Yeah, Thomas Hutt went to the Red Bulls because the Red Bulls and FC Dallas both needed goalies, and St. Louis needed a backup. So I sort of pinpointed them as the team that would take the backup. I'm cropping the Sandemeyer thing so I can actually pick him, get the visuals up later after this. Because I'll probably redo some stuff after you leave, whether it's typing draft grades or typing stuff in, So Sandmeyer. Wait, did your camera turn off? Let me, all right, let me add you to this trio.
That's my bad.
Carlos Zambrano is good. He led Syracuse in points. I did some research on Carlos Zambrano earlier. He led Syracuse in goals and assists. I do hope he gets drafted. I think Their goalie and Zambrano were the two players I think that deserve to be drafted. But a lot of the guys on here.
Zach said that he might be joining us in a bit.
All right. Zach Lillington.
Yep.
Just curious. Damn. Don't see it. Oh, well. So Sandemeyer and McClellan both got picked. All right. There we go. Bruletti. I like Bruletti. He's a midfielder on Indiana. Okay. I thought it had the third round for a moment, so I'm going to X out. I'm going to reload the app on my phone.
Good.
Yeah, they still don't have the picks in, so I guess I'll just use this as an opportunity to catch up on any picks that I didn't add the simulator. I can add those now because I think Haruna is the only guy from round one, and I probably need to check the code to see if we have Jalen Mitchell information. Let's check the source code, the player code, because I know I added Jalen Mitchell earlier. I added his image to the site. Did I forget to type his name in the simulator? That's probably what happened. I added the code, but I forgot to type the name in because I know we had Jalen Wright somewhere. Because hold on, Gil. I know that Michigan State had a really good right back that transferred to St. John's. I know we had him in our. I had him somewhere in round 3.
Oh, the Michigan State right back, Jeremy Sharp.
Jeremy Sharp. Yep, that's it.
No, and there's also a bunch of players who don't get drafted. They're probably going to get invited to like preseason camp and stuff like that. So if you don't get drafted, you at least get invited. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think where did I put Jalen Mitchell? Did I put him in the forwards group or did I put him? Let's check the forwards group because I know I added Jalen Mitchell. I'm just trying to recall where we. I think we had him, or maybe we thought we had him, and then we forgot to type the name in. But yeah, I'll worry about that later. Haruna and Mitchell are the two because I swear I typed Mitchell in earlier when I was coding. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I forgot that line. I thought I did. That's on me. But yeah, and Lolula. So those three. There's really only 3 players I got to type. Oh, Dylan Kropp too. So there's 4 for the first round that I gotta get images of, like bio images and stuff for our visuals.
Gotcha.
But I'll just get those. Instead of wasting time, let's just get those out of the way. Haruna is 5'6", 125, but he was a SoCal Freshman of the Year last year. This is strictly an upside pick. This is an upside pick. That is, he's from Ghana. This is, let's hope this works out. Let's see. 2 goals, 5 assists, 9 points. So, yeah, they're hoping he's a Nagando type. But, yeah, Dovlo and Haruna were the 2 guys. And the fact that UNC Greensboro got 2 first-round picks this year, it just goes to show the culture Coach Rich is building there. It's finally starting to pay off because they had guys like Ngondo and Theo Colin that I really liked. And Ngondo was a top 5 pick, but it's like they're finally starting to get the respect that some of these blue blood programs get in college soccer. It's great to see.
No, yeah, Coach Rich has been building that program. I know they play in a small conference, not a bunch of people know about them and stuff like that, but they've been going up against like good opponents and been able to compete and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
like
and
you
if
said,
you
have been
say
producing
Furman's a
all those.
cupcake team, they made the Final Four. Just FYI, Furman. I know they got
Yeah,
the. I know all the breaks went their way in the bracket, and I know people are going to say if they had played Syracuse or Clemson, they wouldn't have made it. I can agree with that to a point, but I felt like the only team that could beat Vermont was Syracuse, and what ends up happening is they end up losing. Clemson ends up losing, and frickin' Hofstra knocks out Vermont. So basically every break that Furman needed to go its way went its way. Grand Canyon,
yeah,
I think, would have beat Furman if they had gotten past Portland, but they didn't. And this was really Portland's opportunity after losing to Pitt in the Elite Eight to try to showcase we're ready for Cary, North Carolina, and they failed in that respect. Still a respectable program, still a great program, but, this was your best chance to get to Cary, North Carolina if you're the Portland Pilots, and you didn't get it done. That's
yeah.
all.
They're not gonna have Joe Highfield anymore,
And
but
they're not
they're
going to
always
get an
good at
opportunity
recruiting.
like that again where they're the 8 or 9 seed and they get a home game in the Elite Eight.
Yeah,
They're
that's
in
true.
the in another year, they're going to have to play a team like a Stanford, or they're going to have to play a South Florida, or I don't know. They're going to have to play a higher seeded team on the road if they get back to the Elite Eight. The
Yeah,
odds of them
agreed.
getting another home game as the 8 seed, those are not great odds.
It's true. More picks are in.
What do we got here?
71, New York City, Joey Mueller out of UCF. Oh, Galaxy picked your midfielder out of Brighton.
Yes, Jay Mamaro.
Omar.
I'm very happy about that. That was my best player on the board. I had him at like 12. I'm very happy about that. And Mitch Ferguson, Orlando. Good. I'm glad
Yeah.
Mitch Ferguson got picked. I had Mitch Ferguson to Orlando at 14. So clearly Orlando's reading our site. Clearly. I mean, a lot of players. Oh, Charles Emile Brunette. We had him in the
Yeah.
3rd round initially, but we moved him up to round 1. He goes to Nashville. That's a great pick. Patrick Kelly, I had him at 34. He goes to Austin. Austin Brunette, I had him at 60, but Houston gets him. Kyle Durham was the consensus goalie 3. He goes to San Diego in round 3. And
That's a
Braden
good pick.
Beason at San Diego. I like Braden Beason's on San Francisco, not San Diego. The San Francisco
Yeah.
Dons. That's a
Yeah.
typo by a rare typo by MLS Soccer.
Yeah.
Travis Clark or whoever's in charge of this, you might want to fix that. I'd message Travis myself, but I think he didn't block me, which I'm grateful for, but he restricted my ability to message him. So, Travis, if you're listening, you might want to fix that when you get a second. You don't have to give me any credit. Just go in site and change that. That's all you got to do. You just have to change one word. You have to change Diego to Francisco. You can leave the sand there. You can leave the sand there because that is punctually correct. You just have to change Diego to Francisco. That's really it. So that's a very small task. It's like, I'm happy with the Galaxy's draft, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think they've had the best overall draft, but I would consider them a winner. Like if we were creating a winners losers bracket for today, I put the Galaxy in the winners bracket. I would.
Yeah, they got their left back, their goalie,
And we
and they
got
got
a
your favorite
playmaker.
player.
Would I like a striker that can get double-digit goals? Yes, but they're probably going to get that in free agency, so I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
They got excellent value with all of their picks, so I can't really complain. St. Louis took Lillington at 7, and then they got – I really like what St. Louis did in round 2. Samuels, and then they also got Samuels, and then I think they made another trade. Yeah, they made a trade with Orlando to get Forcellini. I really like both of those picks for them. So let me see if let's see if Jalen Mitchell's already on some of my old emails. I thought I emailed a picture of Yoshizawa and Sharp. I thought I emailed a picture of Nolan Miller.
No, I have a message last year from Jalen Mitchell. He didn't like that he didn't get drafted this year. Then he told me next year for sure he was going to get drafted, and
And he did.
Yeah, that's good.
That's very good. So I guess I can't find it, so I guess I am going to do a retake. I try to avoid doing retakes, but, you know. All right, so Jalen Mitchell. I don't like
done.
that I have to re-edit this photo. I swear I edited this already, but I guess that's part of it.
The last 10 picks are in.
Awesome. What do we got?
81, Stockton Short from Utah Tech going to Seattle. Charlotte FC gets Wickham, goalie from South Florida. Minnesota United gets a goalkeeper from Evansville. 84, LAFC gets Wagner from San Diego, midfielder. DC United gets Kelp from Maryland.
That's a great pick. I had Lassie Kelp, I think, to enter Miami at 30. So that's a very good value pick.
New York City gets Nikolai from North Carolina, the left back, right? I think
Damn. New York City had a great draft, too. They got Ransford Gyan and Luka Nikolai in rounds 1 and 3. Yep. I don't know what they did in round 2, but they had a good round 3 and round 1.
88, Houston Dynamo, Gilberto Rivera from San Jose State. The last pick.
Top player.
The last pick for Inter Miami, the guy who scored the game-winning goal for Vermont Green and for the University of Vermont last year in the NCAA championship.
He was amazing last year. I know he had a bit of a drop-off this year compared to last year, but he was Michael Mraz was 97 on the Top Drawer Soccer midseason rankings, but I didn't consider a player from Evansville getting drafted, and Wickham from South Florida got picked, and Stockton Short, the Utah Tech goalie, got picked. So there was a goalie run, but they were the goalies we least expected. And that's got to sting for Butler, because Butler didn't even get drafted. But he might have an academy deal with the Union. I don't know.
Probably, or he already has like a USL championship deal. Well, like most players who didn't get drafted, they're talking to like USL championship teams and stuff, especially the ones who have agents already. So they should be good.
Yep.
But yeah, I thought Butler was going to get drafted.
I don't think he did get drafted.
But
maybe he's my top goalie, and he was the top goalie on my friends board, and Travis Clark had him as the number 1 goalie too. He did not get drafted. I think that's the first time in MLS draft history where the consensus number 1 goalie went undrafted. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty certain that's the first time that's ever happened in the 30-year history of the Super Draft, where the consensus number one goalie went undrafted. I know it's happened here. I remember one of the first Super Drafts I did, we interviewed Albert Ruiz when he was at Florida Gulf Coast. He had like 21 goals or 22 goals as a junior.
Hmm.
Bad senior year or underwhelming senior year compared to his junior season. I'm not going to say it was bad. He did still get an invite to the MLS Combine, which was what it was called back then. And then I think he plays professionally overseas in Spain, but I think he went undrafted in the Super Draft. No, he went drafted in round 4, but I don't think he made the team he was on. And it's like, if you're going to put all these guys, if you're going to put 430 players, can we at least go back to 4 rounds MLS? If you're going to like a few years ago when they only had like 100 players, it was a lot better. Yeah, I know there was less to pick from, but if you're going to have 436 players eligible for the draft, at least have the decency to make the draft 4 rounds. But like rounds 1 and 2 are the only rounds where you can bring players up to the MLS. Round 3 is basically an MLS next round, and round 4 is like a USL round or something. I don't know.
Do you think?
Because you're basically setting this thing up for 90. You're setting this thing up so that if you're not in that top 90, you pretty much have to start in the USL or MLS next and work your way up.
Gotcha. Do you think the USL should have a draft as well, or should it just stay with
Of
MLS?
course.
Yeah.
Of course. Because I'm at the point where it's like too many of these talented college soccer players, they try to get an opportunity and they don't get one.
Gotcha. Hopefully it happens
The
since
margin for error is very slim unless you're a first round pick.
it should happen since they're adding like a Division One to like USL and stuff like that. So hopefully it happens, but we'll see.
Yeah, and if they do a USL draft, you can make it 3 rounds, and if your first round pick gets to start in Division 1, your second round pick Division 2, third round pick Division 3 or something. I don't know. Just get something in place. Because Pro Rel, in theory, these ideas are good, but it's really going to come down to the execution. So I would say the best value pick in round 3 was probably Nikolai. But you can make an argument for Amaro as well. There were a lot of picks I liked in round 3.
Yeah, even
Best
Kelp.
round value. Yep. Best round 2 value pick would probably be you think I'm going to say Bank because I'm a Galaxy fan. No, I would say Nis was probably the best value pick in round 2, objectively speaking. I thought Edward Nis was a top 15 guy. You get him in round 2.
Or Jefferson Amaya, another one.
Jefferson Amaya is good, though. I mean, I remember Florian, my friend in France who watched college soccer at the time. He told me about Amaya after his freshman year. So he's been on my radar for 4 years, literally. How many
Yeah,
people who watch college soccer could say they've seen Amaya for 4 seasons?
me.
You,
Yeah,
Florian, and myself, maybe.
yeah,
And maybe Clark, because I remember I think Clark did have him in GA as a sophomore.
yeah. He
So
did.
Clark's had him on his radar for a while too. I'm not going to say anything else, Travis, but I'll give you credit.
No,
You
no.
had him on your radar for a while as well.
I think he also has like pro experience when he was like a young teenager with Charlotte Independence also. So yeah, he should.
He was.
Yeah, he has a
So
bright
he's been
future.
on. He does. So we had the image of Jalen Mitchell, but we didn't email it to ourselves. And with all these stacks, all these picture stacks. But yeah, I think the Galaxy, I still think FC Dallas was the big winner of the draft. I would put the Galaxy at 2, but what did New York City do in round 2? They got Kevin Pierre, which I'm not excited about Pierre, but I know there are some fans that absolutely loved the Kevin Pierre pick. And then they took Joey Mueller out of Central Florida in round 3. Their draft's kind of like a sandwich. I love the last pick and their first pick. The picks in the middle are out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they'll do. Not saying they'll be terrible, but I'm not enthusiastic about them either. Emil Brunette in Nashville is going to be fun. Nashville only had 2 picks. They got Max Miller, their first pick. Joe Dale, hometown guy. Austin took Dobrajevic in round 2. I like that pick because I had him to the Galaxy in round 2 as a striker. And then Austin took Kelly, another guy I had ahead of him. I think Austin had a sneaky good draft and they got the allocation money from Vancouver too, because Vancouver traded up to 17, where Austin originally picked. So yeah, that they did. So yeah, that's a great trade.
Let me just message a few more players. Let's see if they still want to hop on. But they're probably
Yeah.
celebrating right now with their friends and family, so it's all good.
I'm guessing what will happen is we might get one person, but they won't want to come on until like 5 or 6. And then at that point, it'll be like, we really want to do this because.
Yeah, let me just real quick. Yeah, I sent out messages. If they don't reply, then it's all good. But we'll just give it a little bit of time.
Me, yeah.
Also, Pablo Pozo's didn't get drafted, but he told me before the draft that he knew he wasn't going to get drafted. He still has another year at West Virginia and stuff like that. So yeah, he
Yeah,
should
a
be.
lot of these guys that are sophomores, juniors that don't get drafted, you've got 2027 and 2028 to improve your stock. It's not an end all be all. So that's the other thing I'd say. For a lot of the guys, you still have that extra year to improve your stock. You do. It's like you got that extra year. Okay. All right. So we got pretty much every player in the top 30 we finally got. Oh, we didn't get Martin Lulala, but we got Mitchell, and Mitchell's listed as a forward, but he's a winger. I may have put Mitchell in the forward rankings. I'll double check one more time. See if I did or didn't. No, I didn't. So, but yeah, at least we got that right. And then Martin Lulala of Grand Canyon was this was fun though. I think I feel like St. Louis, if Lillington becomes a stud, I would argue St. Louis is probably my 4th winner. It's hard to pick 5 winners for this draft because I feel like a lot of teams were incongruent with their picks. There's a team where I love one pick they made and either not as high on the rest of their picks, or there's a team that reached in the first round and may have rebounded in the later rounds, but we won't know because they may not get that opportunity. That's what's hard about objectively assessing this draft. And DC United, they did not do bad. Like, I think the very worst you could give them is a B+. I had Emo Jong in round 3, but that's a good value pick. And Najike is a guy I had in round 1. And then they also got Lassie Kelp with the pick from so DC United had a good day. They had a good draft. I guess I could put DC United at 5, but it's like they are a distant 5 compared to because I think the Galaxy and the Austin FC both had good days despite not having a first round pick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Palmer Bank, the goalie from Kentucky, right?
Conlon, I think.
Yeah. You think they should have drafted Butler instead, or you okay with Conlon?
I'm okay with Conlon. I'm guessing there's something with I don't know why Butler went undrafted. I think he has an academy deal with a team or the union signed him before the draft and kept it hush hush.
Gotcha.
But teams have until December 1st to sign a player, so I don't know. Mluala 8. I'm trying to find out where exactly the image of the player is. What do we got here? Let's see. I have not checked the. Good job, Gil. Marius Stenner. Marius Stenner was in my top 10. He did not get picked.
Well,
Oh man. Why isn't Donovan Phillip drafted? Phillip was drafted last year
yeah,
by
yeah,
the Rapid 3, Dan. The
yeah,
Rapids are probably going to sign him to a futures contract either this year or at the end of next fall.
yeah. And Marius
But
out
yeah,
of
he was.
Delaware, he's still young as well. I think he was only a sophomore, right? He still has 2 years.
I know they had one senior and one sophomore. If Stenner's only a
Yeah,
sophomore, then he could get picked next year.
yeah, because last year he had like 12 or 13 goals as a freshman around there. But yeah,
Yeah.
he
We
should.
still have 109 viewers despite the fact that the draft's over. That's still pretty good. Thoughts on Sporting Kansas City's pick so far? I had mixed feelings about Agyabang, but I like that they drafted for need. Macerca is a player I had in round 3, but I don't dislike the pick. And then they got Blake DiAgostino in round 3 at 64. That was probably their best value pick, unfortunately. And I felt like DC United, they needed a right winger, they needed another center back, they needed a attacking midfielder, defensive midfielder, and basically depth at both fullback spots. I felt like they needed everything outside of a striker and a goalie. And I feel like they could have done a lot better. I don't think it just depends if Agyabang develops, Kwaku Agyabang, if he develops, their draft will be considered a success. But if he doesn't, they'll probably be one of the bigger losers of the draft. But it's too early to say. Oh, and they got Nikos Clark Tozak as left back too when they traded up with Colorado. So Colorado traded out of that spot for allocation money. But the Rapids needed a left back and a goalie. They added more forwards, which is great. But they've got Alex Harris, they've got Donovan Phillip, they've got the 2 forwards they took in round 1 today. They added Musa. I mean, they got a really good forward core, but they still haven't addressed their key needs that will make them a contender. Asher Hestad might be a left back though, so I remember the announcers talking about him. Devin Kerr.
Houston also had a good draft with
Apparently,
Highfield.
Apple TV does have a draft with the 2026 plan. Apparently, Apple TV is airing the Super Draft again, according to some people in the chat room. Okay, that's good. If I had known that, I probably would have gotten it. But I'm guessing you have to get the plan. I'm guessing they're not going to give you the draft for free. You have to get the plan, and then they'll give you access to the draft for free.
Gotcha. But Houston Dynamo also had a good draft. Well, before they signed Logan Erb, then Joe Highfield
I
from
mean, Caleb
Portland.
Tommy, I don't know how I feel about Caleb Tommy, but I'm not. NC State got the championship, and I like the Resch pick in round 3. I really did like that
Yeah,
pick. Bromette was a good pick as well. I re-
yeah, 6'6" center
and they got
back.
Rivera, so I love what Houston did in round 3. I guess Houston did have a good draft when you really think about it. I mean, I'm reading this. Because if Kansas City had a good backline, I think they would have been a little bit better. All right. What teams are positioned to contend? I don't want to do predictions yet, but maybe talk about what teams are positioned to contend next season. I think Miami is just going to pick up where they left off. I'm not picking them to win the MLS Cup yet, but it's hard to say they're not the odds-on favorite heading into betting odds. I'd say they're still the odds-on favorite. What they've done in free agency is nothing short of spectacular. I like Cincinnati too, and Nashville. I think Nashville has a lot of talent. The problem is, they let Walker Zimmerman leave. We don't know if the new young center back they traded a first round pick to get's going to be as good as Walker. He's not going to have the same veteran impact in the locker room. So I would say right now, Miami and Cincinnati are probably the two teams in the East. Philadelphia, they let too many key pieces go. They traded their striker. They traded their center back to my Galaxy. So I would say right now, it does look like those are the top two, but Chicago's getting younger. If Chicago gets like a big name free agent, I think they could enter the mix as maybe get to round 2 of the playoffs. I don't think they're ready to push for an Eastern Conference Finals, but if Chicago gets the right free agents, I think they could maybe win a series and take that next step. But I don't think they're an MLS Cup team. But I think they could take that next step and maybe get to the Eastern Conference semifinals versus the play-in game, and then where they lost in the quarterfinals. I think they could get to the Final Four in the East, win 2 series or win 1 series, but it's a 4-5 or a 3-6 or something. The Red Bull got the goalie, Jake. The Red Bulls got the Syracuse goalie, Tomas Hutt. That was their first pick. And then I think did they trade the rest of their picks?
Thanks.
No, they traded
Nope.
their second round pick to Real Salt Lake in the Jefferson Amaya trade. And Jefferson Amaya and then the Red Bulls also traded their third round pick. Yeah, the Red Bulls only had one pick at 12, but they traded down for allocation money, and they really only needed a goalie. They had everything else, and they took Tomas Hutt, which is a strange pick, but I'm not going to blame them. Local guy, good size, 9 shutouts, including one against the ACC champion. So if that's the guy they wanted, more power to him. It's actually a sneaky good pick. If you study the pick and you do some research, you'll realize that's a sneaky good pick. In the West, I think it's basically going to be the same 3 teams. If Vancouver's draft picks end up having an impact, I think Vancouver could repeat, but more than likely, we're probably going to get Seattle and LAFC rising back. If FC Dallas's draft is spectacular, they could, and all their rookies develop, they could enter the conversation down the road. But I think the Rapids are going to be better because the Rapids got a lot of good players in 2024. If they develop this year, they'll be in the mix. Same with FC Dallas, because I thought FC Dallas had maybe a really strong draft, but we'll see how many of their rookies end up making it. Because a draft like this, if all the players end up becoming as good as I think they can become, and you develop them all correctly, this goes down as one of the all-time best drafts in Dallas. You could put it up with the Mavericks 2018 draft where they got Luka and Brunson. You could put it up there with the Stars 2017 draft. You could put it up there with the Cowboys drafts in the 90s after the Herschel Walker trade. I think you could put this FC Dallas draft up with those drafts, as crazy as that sounds. But the rookies they draft actually have to develop and become impact players, which is a big if. You don't know if they're going to become that in the pros. But if they do, yeah, this is a historically great draft. We're talking, it's up there with those. It's not quite perfect, but it's up there, I guess. Here's what we'll do. If we get one more guest, I don't think we're going to get any guests on, but if we get a guest on between 4:30 and before 4:30, I'm guessing Julio sticks around. If he doesn't, he probably calls it a day. Maybe
Yeah.
I stay on till 5, try to get some other stuff done. But it's like, yeah, that's basically what I think is going to happen. With
Everyone.
it just depends. If we get a guest within the next 30 minutes, I'm guessing we'll stay on and interview them. If not,
Yeah, I'm trying
it'll
to.
just
I'm messaging them right now, so hopefully I could get at least one or two.
yeah. So I got Haruna and Mitchell, and then I just Lalula. I just got the Lalula picture. Oh, Dylan Crop. I did not get Dylan Crop. Let's get a Dylan Crop picture, and then I'm not going to use the North Carolina website because the North Carolina website was not working earlier when I tried to get some of these player items up late last night. Maybe Dylan Crop is not on North Carolina. Maybe he's on another college because I don't see Dylan Crop on the
He's a
North Carolina.
transfer from Xavier.
He was on North Carolina, but he transferred to Xavier.
He transferred
And now
from
yeah, I see Crop now. So now we just gotta email this to myself, edit it, and then I'm done with round 1 for the simulator. I still got the draft grades to type 2, but I want to make it so that everyone who was drafted is at least on the simulator, even if we get the rankings wrong. It's, just for historical purposes. We'll see what happens. But outside of a few teams, I really wasn't impressed with this. But the MLS draft's the biggest crapshoot, Yeah, Markovic. DC United fans are happy about Markovic being the first pick, so I'm not gonna. If they're happy, great. Couldn't have landed in a better city, Nashville. And Sorensen and Brummett, I thought those were good returns for the picks Chicago traded away.
Damn.
Yeah, I had Samuels and Forcellini ahead of Lillington, but yes, St. Louis did have a good day. I feel like Colorado, they need a goalie and they need a left back. And this is like the 5th year in a row they've neglected both of those positions. Do they have a guy in their academy? Do they have a free agent that's dominated at either position? No. That's just my issue with the Rapids. It's why I don't trust them. All right, so we got Dylan Crop. I can start getting some round 2 pictures, get some other stuff done. Don't worry. I mean, with all the work I've got to do, I'm probably going to have to live stream the grades and all that other stuff on Saturday. I just don't think I'm going to get it today. I mean, I could stay on the air, I guess, until the NFL games start, but I'm guessing if we do not get a guest by 5 or 4:30,
Yeah, probably.
you're going to split and do what your business you got to do.
Probably about 4:30.
I appreciate you.
But yeah, we got a bunch of viewers, right? Did you
Yeah,
did you get more
that's really
subscribers as well?
yeah.
Nice. But we'll see. Hopefully Zach or Jalen, one of those two. Ricky might be way too busy. Ricky Lewis, because he was at his high school.
Everybody says they want to come on when they're in college, but once they get drafted, the teams pretty much tell you this is the media you can speak with. This is what you can do. This is how you represent our organization. And it's a bunch of social maxims, a bunch of honors codes, a bunch of stuff you got to do to be accepted by the team.
Yeah, I know. I thought more would like hop on and stuff. Like I like covered their career for like 3 or 4 years or 2 to 4 years and stuff like that. I would thought more would hop on, especially because I post all their goals and all their stats and stuff like that. But damn, if I don't get at least one, I'm just like, damn. It'll probably be yeah, it's disappointing for me.
Yeah.
But I get it. The top, especially the top picks, they're probably way too busy and stuff like that. But like at the
It's
same
not
time,
just they're busy. It's like, yeah, if you want the contract, this is what you got to do. They're like, and the other players are just trying out. Like the second, third round picks, they're probably going to go to MLS Next. I mean, I think 1 or 2 second round picks in the last 5 years has made an MLS roster ever since MLS Next has been introduced.
mhm.
I know George Marks was a third round pick. I had a first round grade on him. I had a first round grade on the player they drafted out of Wake Forest, and they got Ben Bender at 1. I thought Charlotte had a great 22 draft, but they couldn't build on it and keep what they had talent wise. All right, we got the player. Dylan Crop. So yeah, there we go. We got images for every first round player. I can get some player, yeah, because I'll try to do some player grades, some player write ups whenever. But yeah, Emil Brunette got picked. Nashville is interesting because Bob Skinner, his son Joey got picked by them. They didn't utilize. They didn't maximize his ability, but he's had a lot of success with the. Joey Skinner's had some success with the Tampa Bay Rowdies. So
Yeah, he's been doing good out there in USL Championship.
yeah,
Oh, and also, what's his name? Didn't get drafted. Ulfer from Duke, the player out
Olford
of
has
Westwood.
one more year of eligibility.
Gotcha.
He does because he was a sophomore when he was undrafted last year, and
Yeah,
Olford he looked a lot slower when he came back from his injury. I think that's why he got undrafted. It's not that he's bad. It is he was he looked a lot slower on tape. I think that is yeah. So
yeah, didn't have as a bunch of goals as last time.
yep. Emo Jong, Hot, Wright, Maserka, Bank, Gilman, Samuels, Mimi, Caleb Tommy's. I'm reading through as many of the round 2 names that we don't have on our simulator as so Griffith, Godino, Karabucci, Miller. So there's like 7 or 8 names that we did not have. But it's like it's impossible to get 432 players and put it on a simulator in under a day. It's impossible. If they could start this on like Monday, or if they could give us like a week to study all the draft eligible names, I could do this in a week. But it's like, that's the thing. And I did not expect as many players that weren't even projected to get drafted to get picked. So I'm just a little confused because, yeah, I'm not critiquing anyone. It's just some of these teams, I don't think they did as much due diligence as they could have. But all right, so there's a lot of guys at the top of round 2 that I'm familiar with. Caleb Tommy, is he a center back or was he a fullback? I'm just curious. All right, we got Crop. Okay. Yeah, because at this point, he's probably a fullback. Caleb Tommy, 5'9", 155. He's a fullback. I just don't know if he's a left back or a right back. But yeah, his size, he's going to be. Griffith was a guy who had potential at one point, but he's only a true sophomore, only started 6 games. He didn't start as a freshman, but people hyped him up as a possible dark horse to be a GA. Struggled in 2024. He did better this year, but I still got to see more from what was the big surprise? I'm just curious what the comments section are.
The big surprise that I couldn't get any guess on. That's the biggest surprise.
Yeah, I agree.
Even though they confirmed, but I guess they're PR people with their new MLS teams.
It's the agents. They want the players to adhere to the maxims.
Or I also should have tried getting players from last year's draft or 2 years ago. That could have also been
I did like
a
what.
possibility.
Okay, so the Revolution got $200K in allocation money for Richie Aman. They got $200K in allocation money from DC United.
Damn.
I'm gonna at least try to get round 1 up after like just the picks, the grades, like all the stuff. Because this was good, but I the thing that's hard about this is it's MLS and MLB are the 2 biggest crapshoots as far as drafting goes, and you don't know who's gonna get picked. You don't know.
Hmm.
It's like we figured if we took all the 120 players that were most commonly featured in mock drafts, we would have no surprises. And there were surprises. There were at least like 7 surprises in each round. That should tell you either these teams aren't watching guys as carefully as they should be, or they're just going by instinct and hoping it works out, expecting it
Yeah,
not to work out, which I'm guessing it's that.
yeah. I don't think most scouts or a bunch of scouts watch college soccer. I guess they just guess on their picks
Yeah,
because they're
pretty
mainly
much.
just focused. They're mainly just focusing on like MLS Next or their academies and stuff for younger players and stuff. And college soccer, like the draft, is like a
Yep.
second or third choice for them and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's why it's hard to predict.
All right, Caleb Tomey. Oh, damn it. I didn't put the image. I put the subject in. I forgot to God, gosh. What's wrong with me.
No, I think I'm just gonna log off now.
Yeah,
Like
you should. I
I reached
appreciate.
out to I reached out to these players and they're just reposting stuff from like other pages and stuff like that. I thought I would try to at least get like a one or two on, but they're not replying and just reposting other stuff right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just trying to
well,
get figure out which one is the exact image, and once.
let me I'll just message Zach real quick. I'll give it 5 minutes, and if he doesn't reply, then
Yeah, because
it
as
should
much
be
as
good.
I'd love to have a guest on, it's just not going to happen. I like that the picks go faster, but I think the lesson here today is just focus on the draft grades and as the picks come in. As cool as the simulator was, you don't build it for your live stream unless you know what players are going to go where in the draft.
Hmm.
With soccer, it is the biggest crapshoot. So if I do make a 2027 simulator, just make it for fun. Don't use it on the live stream. That's what I've learned. Because usually we do like the draft grades with the write-ups and all that stuff. We went away from that because the simulator looked cooler, the visuals looked awesome, and they did. But the players that I didn't expect to get picked did make up a portion of some of the selections. So that's part of it too.
In your mock draft, where did you have Shador Sanders ranked for
I had him in
NFL?
the second round, but he fell to the fifth round.
Gotcha.
I had him as QB2 behind Cam Ward, but I had him in the second round. I thought he was kind of raw.
And who are your top three quarterbacks for next year's draft?
I have 2 round 1 guys. I have Carson Beck and Mendoza. That's it. I'm not
What
high
about
on
Bobby?
Don Simpson. I don't like Dante Moore. I don't like Don. One thing I heard about a UCLA QB is that Troy Aikman gave them NIL money, and then they never thanked Aikman, and then they transferred and asked Aikman for more money. And the QB that allegedly did that was Dante Moore. I can't confirm or deny, but that just rubs me the wrong way. So I'm
Hmm.
kind of down. I think if Dante Moore goes back to Oregon and does some growing up, he could be good next year. But I think he's a year away, and the attitude does kind of rub me the wrong way. So we'll see. I think 27 is going to be a better QB class. You'll have Julian Sayin, you'll have Arch Manning, CJ Carr, Notre Dame, Sellers maybe if he comes back, Moore if he comes back, Mateer if he comes back. I just like 27 a lot better than 26. And
Gotcha.
like right
No,
now, it feels like maybe you disagree with me, but right now it feels like there's more NFL teams in quarterback purgatory versus necessarily needing a quarterback right out of the gate for next season. Like, I think the Jets and Steelers might be the only 2 teams that definitely need a QB for next season. Maybe the Raiders enter that conversation if they cut Geno Smith, but outside of those 3 teams, I can't pinpoint a team that has to draft a quarterback this year if they absolutely dislike the class. Can you? Outside of those,
Miami.
well, now that they benched Tua, they could be a dark horse to draft a QB, but they're gonna have to trade Tua. They can't cut him. They'd lose $50 million if they cut him. So they are going to have to iron that out. That's going to be something I'll probably talk with Joey about on Saturday. But yeah, I agree. They are going to have to iron that out.
Uh, uh, I'm gonna log off now. I got the message from Zach. He said he's too busy right now.
Yeah.
So, so even now is gonna be our probably only guy. But yeah,
I'm guessing
no.
a lot of these players, they want to do interviews, but they want to do it on a day where they're available, and there's like only one day of the week when they are available once they turn pros.
Because
And it's like
the
a
top
certain
draft
time.
picks
It's
are.
like 30, 40 minutes on a Tuesday at like 7 or 8, and there's not a game that week until like Saturday. That's basically from other soccer podcasters. I've learned that's the best window of opportunity. But yeah, I am going to try to get a few grades up, because if I don't get anything up and I just rely on the simulator, it's just going to be a disappointment. But I appreciate you stopping by. Everyone else has left. I mean, I probably should stop too. I mean, we've got 32. We've went from 500 to 32 viewers. People only came here for the draft. As much as I like posting in-depth analysis, people only came here to watch the draft. Let's be real. I mean, the fact that
Yeah,
we've gone from 500 to 32 viewers, I think that says everything.
yeah, no, but yeah, it was just nice doing the draft with you, and hopefully next year we could do something like that. But yeah,
Yeah,
sorry on my part.
next year, the lesson is I'm just going to trust the draft results webpage, where we have like the lie. I'll show it to you before we sign off, but it's like basically we have like a draft. Well, you signed off. I think you signed off, but thanks for calling in. But yeah, basically what we do is like basically I have this up, and then we have like live grades as the picks come in. That's usually what we do on draft day, but I figured if we use the simulator, we would get through the picks quicker. And the simulator, when we had a player on it, it actually did function quicker. But I think I've learned that I should only make MLS simulators for fun, because this was the first simulator I ever created. I'm going to make these for football and baseball and the WNBA. This is the first one I ever made, but I think the lesson here is only use the simulators for sports where there's no parity in the draft. I think that's the lesson.
Gotcha.
Or if it's day
Gotcha.
3 of the NFL draft, the picks go boom, 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 boom. Because this is like day 3 of the NFL draft on steroids sometimes. It is. Like, once the picks come flying in, this is day 3 of the NFL draft on steroids.
True. All right then, man. Just have a good day, and
You
yeah,
too, man.
peace out. Thank you.
That was Julio of the Kickaball podcast, and I'm gonna try to stay here until 5 or 6. But I am okay. Talkshoe disconnected me. I don't know why. I'm gonna attempt to reconnect with Talkshoe, and then I want to at least get 1 or 2 player grades up. Like, we don't have to get everything up today, but I want to at least get 1 or 2 write-ups up. I want to try to get 1 or 2 write-ups done. I'm not saying we're going to pull it off, but yeah. Okay, so I did get picks 1 2 up. But yeah. All right. And you got all the trades that happened as well. So we got to fix that. And then we got to put Simmons. Maybe I should just start with the ticker and then work my way down. But yeah, Ricky Lewis. I thought Ricky Lewis was a great pick. I thought Nicholas Simmons was a great pick. It really did feel like a lot of the teams cared initially, and then after that, the interest sort of dwindled. And we'll see. All right, we've got 32 viewers. Who's still here? Yeah. So this was a trial and error thing. Don't get me wrong. I love doing these player write-ups, but I think we're probably going to save some of these for the podcast, because I don't know. I'll be able to focus easier. I'll try to get some write-ups done for the first 3 picks. Yeah, because Nicholas Simmons, I thought FC Dallas had a phenomenal day. Basically, their FC Dallas is going to get an all A+ with whatever picks they get. Because I think Nicholas Simmons was, they got Simmons. I thought FC Dallas had the best draft. I mean, they got the two best players on my board, Ricky Lewis and Nicholas Simmons. We didn't get to interview any of the players, but they've made other commitments, and they got to honor those commitments. It's like they'd love to do these interviews when they get free time, but they made other commitments. They got to honor those commitments. And yeah. I mean, I do like Eguibong, but he's just way too inconsistent to take it 4 with Eamon on the board. I do like him, but it's like we're probably going to get this up on Saturday's podcast because I'm going to have to work. I will stay until 6 or 7, but I'm probably going to watch the Thursday night game on Amazon Prime. Rams, Seahawks. Yeah, and tomorrow's the college football playoff. So it's not that I don't want to work on these grades, but they just might take longer than usual versus other years, Orlando, I felt like really Orlando needed a goalie and a defensive midfielder. I don't know if they came away with either. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if they came away with either. You look at Orlando, they got a center back, they got a winger, they got a central mid, and they got a left back. They got a fullback. They needed a defensive midfielder and a goalie, and they didn't address either area of the team. And that tells me Orlando would rather stash this talent in MLS Next versus playing that talent. It's unfortunate because I really like college soccer, but it has gotten more watered down by the year. It really has. And I came into today with a lot of optimism, a lot of ambition, like we were going to accomplish something. And outside of the shout out from the Wave from Bogert, it's been a pretty terrible day. It's been a slight letdown. Okay, so we had Jalen Mitchell in the mock, but not the simulator. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Forgot to add him to the simulator. That makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. But yeah, I just want to at least get something done so we can say, hey, we got this many picks done before 6 p.m. Okay? Because I owe my audience that. I had fun talking about the draft, but I owe my audience an actual draft show, not a show where we half-ass things. Orlando's already stacked at attacking midfield. Instead, this tells me they would rather draft for depth than, I don't know. I like Harvey, but I had him in round 3, and it's like this is not 4 goals, 6 assists, 14 points at Georgia Southern, 2 goals, 2 assists, 6 points. That's not good production that's not That's not good production for a top 5 pick. I'm sorry, that's not good production for a top 5 pick. It really isn't. I mean, I get it. He's a guy a lot of scouts like. He has traits teams like, but those are not great. I do like the striker Colorado took. He had 13 goals. Yeah. There were some people that had him higher than me, but I'm not gonna like. It's not something I should lose my cool over. I'm trying to get the picks up, and then I'll update the news ticker for each pick. Because wait, we got someone on. Okay, Ricky. Is that? Hey, Ricky, what's going on?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys?
What's going on, Ricky?
Nothing much. How are you? Can you guys hear me?
Is this Ricky Lewis?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You can hear me, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm messaging Julio. I'm letting him know because I know Julio left. Because he thought no one was going to show up, so I'm letting him know, seeing if he wants to come back.
Yeah,
in.
I literally just got home. I was gonna do it at
No
my high
worries,
school, but
man. I can understand why that would be seen not necessarily in the best light. But Ricky, I know you played in the USL. Yeah. How does it feel? I mean, FC Dallas is Dallas just in general is a great city. I mean, are you excited about visiting the city? A lot of history.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really been in Texas, so this is something new. It's obviously God's plan. I obviously never expected to, when I saw my name. Sorry, I like that over there. Yeah, so I saw Dallas pick me up, and I was just like, wow, like that's amazing because they actually, they put money for me. So it's just amazing. I'm thankful for them for seeing the opportunity and seeing my skills, and I'm just ready to work, honestly.
That's great to hear. I mean, what type of roles have you played growing up? I think you were a midfielder in USL 2. Let me see here. Let me see. Ricky's back on. I think you were a right winger in USL 2. I'm just
Yeah.
kind of curious what type of roles you played before you were on Georgia Southern.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I played a lot in my past years. I played winger, left wing back at USL2 with Linesbridge, striker, played left back before. So yeah, it's just honestly, I'm just happy.
I am too. I mean, I love the city of Dallas, mainly the sports teams, but like they've got great barbecue. I know the city has a lot of history, tradition. I think there's square dancing's popular. I know there's a lot of business people in Dallas. There's the SMU campus, but I was born in Florida. Okay, I was born in Coral Springs. That's where grew up. So, I mean, isn't that where you played high school before you went to Georgia Southern?
I lived in Fort Myers, Florida. And I played with Fort Myers. So yeah, that's where I came from.
Okay. And what's one thing you felt like you learned at Georgia Southern that you feel like you could take to the pros? It doesn't have to be soccer related if you think there's something else, but if it's soccer related, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I have both. I think soccer related just shows like anywhere could make something happen. Like no one when I came to Georgia Southern, like no one knew it. Even myself, like when I came there, I never heard of Statesboro in my life. So I feel like it was a blessing in disguise. I'm really grateful for like Lee finding me because he was shocked when he found me. He was shocked himself. He was wondering how this kid didn't get found by like not the big schools, and we got a luck. So honestly, I'm just have faith, just trust in the system, trust the process, like, and just see where it happens. Because if I was talking to myself 3 years ago, I would never think I would ever come out of getting a GA contract or get signed in Georgia Southern ever. So I'm really blessed in disguise, and then just learned. And then outside of soccer, I learned how to just be outside my comfort zone, like just being home, far away from home, meeting new people, being in a small city, but I know Dallas is a big city, so I know I'm gonna have to be improved in that. But just being in a small city, meeting new people, it taught me a lot. So I feel like it taught me how to be a man and how to understand more of the outcome. And yeah, I'm just excited for how the real world's gonna treat me.
Hey, Julio, what's going on? This is
What,
Ricky Lewis of Georgia Southern.
what's up, Ricky? How are you, man? Congrats
I'm
on
good. How are you? Thank you.
how are you feeling right now? Just give if or I don't know if Chris asked you, just give me your thoughts over just when
Yeah, I
you
mean,
heard your name, you got the notification, like what was going through your head?
a lot of emotions. Like when I heard, I started hearing Atlanta first, and then I was just like, I broke down. I hugged my mom. I was really excited. It's just like a flashback of everything I worked for, everything I dreamed and prayed for it happened. Then, like, I wanted to wait for you guys to like announce it, and then I heard FC Dallas, and then I was like, wait, what? And then I heard FC Dallas paid a lot to come get me, so it was just amazing. I was excited, very excited, and that like FC Dallas sees the talent and really and ready to put a risk for me. So I'm just ready to show them like the hard work I am and just show like why they made a great choice.
FC Dallas crushed this draft. They got you and Nicholas Simmons, who are the top two players in, I think, in the country. So that's not to take anything away from Luka Nikolai. I mean, DC United liked him. He earned the right to be number one. Everybody here who got picked should be happy with the success and journey they've gotten.
And
Everyone should be happy with the journeys they're on, just to start out and get it to this point. It's an accomplishment.
is he still on? Or,
Yeah.
Sorry, I just lagged out again. Sorry.
no, you're good.
Yeah.
Ricky, and could you tell us a little bit about the college showcase? Could you tell us like what you guys go through over those the 3 days, just for the people that don't attend those showcases or like the players who will be attending those showcases? Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. Luckily I had to go with my boy Harvey, so it was fun. Yeah, we came in there, it was just enjoyment. I'm glad I met every other player from different colleges, so it was fun. Got to know their backgrounds and stories. It was great. First day testing was fun. Thought I killed it. Then next day was practice. I did all right my first practice session. I was a little bit nervous, but I thought I did enjoyed it. But yeah, I felt like the whole combine was great. I enjoyed it. Even with the games and talking to the coaches was really good.
Gotcha. And before you got drafted, you entered the transfer portal, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, just give before you entered the portal, did you know that you had a chance to being a high pick, or were you just already trying to find your next school? If you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just more just trying to see like I kind of went in the portal. I didn't honestly think like highly. I felt like I didn't give myself credit. I mean, a lot of people knew I was gonna get picked. So I kind of wanted to just do it as a backup plan just in case anything happens and I wanted to be in a good program that could help me. And yeah, I mean, luckily, I got a good blessing to get a GA contract and I felt like it kind of helped me out a little bit. So I kind of avoided everything and just helped me out to go to my real path.
Yeah,
Gotcha. No.
always wait for things to play out, because I know a few weeks ago when I sent you like a big board or a simulator, you told me Lewis was entering the portal. A lot of people would have panicked. I was like, let's see if he gets a showcase invite. We're gonna be cool. We're gonna stay calm and we're gonna be cool, and we'll see what happens with Ricky. He gets the showcase invite and he crushes it there. Meets some new players, makes some new friends, but it also shows the intensity, the competitive spirit, which is necessary in any sport.
Gotcha. No. And Ricky, no, I'm good friends with Gabi and Pedro from Truth Talent. So
Yeah.
yeah, they must also be happy that you're just yeah achieving your dreams, going pro and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
Yeah.
just tell us what you're most excited about. Like once you get to Dallas, like what do you think you're the most excited about?
Honestly, just meeting the team, meeting the players, kind of get like as much information as I can. How did they get there and like what's the level like? Yeah, and I'm just ready. Honestly, I'm just ready to work. Honestly, like I've been saying that since day one. Like since I was little, I was saying. So I'm just excited to work and just grind.
Gotcha. And he also played with Lionsbridge this past USL 2 season. Can you tell me a little bit about that experience? I know Lionsbridge is like a powerhouse USL 2 team. They have a good fan base, good coaching staff. Can you tell me a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, I mean, again, like it taught me a lot. Like coming out of my comfort zone, Virginia, Newport News, never really heard of it, and they took me in well. Like I had a host family, they took me in very well, showed me around, showed me the areas, and then I was talking to my coach Walls, and he just seemed like a coach that was really passionate about the club. He's been there for a couple years, so he told me like the history about it and what it means to him, and that's like it just inspired me and made me want to just work harder for them and just get as much accomplishments over there.
Did you play against any of your current teammates that got drafted today at the showcase? I know Simmons went third. I think the other guy who was at the showcase was Edward Nis, the second rounder at pick 40. It was just did
Yeah,
like scrimmages? Do they sprints? Like
yeah,
what
yeah.
type
We
of
did
drill?
a we did a like a obviously 11v11. We two 45s. I played the second 45s and it was pretty good. I thought I played well. Everyone over there was really good, showcased well. Uh it was a tie like the first game and then a tie again actually the second game. It was really good. And then but obviously the white team beat us in PKs. They had a really good keeper. So but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. Like everyone over there was talented. Like I hope and I pray that everyone like from that combine at least got drafted or at least noticed that day.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Is there like one, the two, or three players that stood out to you at the combine, like that you can tell us?
Yeah. Definitely Harvey Sarajan, he stood out. Ransford, the Clemson kid, he very much stood out. And the winger from UNCG, he was pretty good.
Is
Enzo?
that Enzo
Yeah.
Dovlo?
Yeah.
Gotcha. No, for sure. No, yeah, just wanted to hop back on real quick, but yeah, just
Yeah.
wanted to say congrats, man, on getting drafted to FC Dallas. I'm
Yeah.
out here, an hour north of Los Angeles, so whenever you play against LAFC, LA Galaxy, I'll be there supporting you too, man. But yeah, just wanted to wish you the best of luck, man, and just like I said, just keep on balling, man. Proud
Yes,
of you.
sir. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yep,
That was Georgia Southern's Ricky Ricky
Lewis.
Lewis. I don't know why I forgot the last name. What the heck is wrong with me?
Yeah, it's been a long day trying to remember
It
everyone's
is.
name and
I
stuff
think I'm
like that.
probably going to end on that note because I think that's the peak. It's like I could sit here and type draft grades and bore my audience to death, but the fact that we got one guest on the show and it was Ricky Lewis, I'm happy about that. Okay. It's like
Gotcha.
this is the perfect way to end. And if I
Hmm.
ended it when you signed off, Ricky wouldn't have showed up. So
Yeah.
that's why you wait. That's why you
Yeah.
wait. Good things
Yeah.
happen if you wait.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
am going to end it here. If
Yeah.
you guys
Gotcha.
want to see the draft grades and the simulator, I put the link to that in the description on the YouTube channel. So you can have that and we don't have to overdo the show and we can just end on a high note because this is literally the high. Can't go down unless someone else like Harvey wants to call it at 5. But I'm just going to respect Harvey's choice to celebrate his family. And I'm just happy Ricky stopped by, Ricky Lewis. So yeah.
Gotcha. No, yeah. Thanks again for having me on, and let's do this again next year, man.
Yeah, hold on. Before I want to update the caption. I forgot to save the caption. I had the Ricky Lewis. I waited till now to update that, but I just had fun.